What do you do when the support staff are the bullies? In this episode of Coffee and Conversations about Nurse Bullying, I'll share a few simple strategies to address either nursing assistant or other support staff bullying. Hi, I'm Renee Thompson. Welcome to Coffee and Conversations about Nurse Bullying. And before we begin, I have to share with you, this is a new mug for me, a new cup. It's Mother of the Bride. My daughter got engaged and she's getting married this summer. Woohoo! So, I am known as a workplace bullying expert, and I spend the majority of my time helping individuals and organizations eliminate bullying behavior. Almost every day a nurse reaches out to me asking for help, and this video series gives me the opportunity to help them and help you. In today's episode, we're going to talk about nurses being bullied by the support staff. You know, here's a typical situation. Let's say you're a young, brand new nurse. The CNA who's been working there for decades isn't about to let some young whippersnapper tell her what to do. So she cares for other nurses' patients, but somehow, forgets to answer your call lights, change the linens, or provide hygiene on your patients. She may even smile when you ask her for help and even agree, sure, but then doesn't complete the task. Although some support staff may be upfront and just tell you, I'm not helping you. But many use covert tactics, this sort of sabotage, favoritism, backstabbing, etc. All right, let's talk about this because I don't think we really talk about this. First, you have to understand from their perspective. We all know that nurses can be so condescending to nursing assistants. You know, a nurse will walk out of a patient's room, walk down 6 hallways, 10 flights of stairs just to find the nursing assistant to ask her to put her patient on a bedpan. I've seen it. If you get beat up long enough and made to feel like gum on someone's shoe, you start to get resentful and then generalize all nurses as condescending, lazy, and disrespectful. So when the new nurses start working, these nursing assistants aren't about to let them take advantage of them, so they go on the offense. They squash before they can get squashed. All right, so what do? Second, you have to set clear expectations for the work. Even though the nursing assistant may try to intimidate you, you are the one with the license and ultimately the one responsible for patient care. Therefore, your goal is to set those expectations for the work and communicate to the support staff honestly and respectfully. All right, here's a couple of tips with this. Never say, can you do me a favor? Why? It's because they'll think that they're doing it for you. Instead, always take it back to the patient. Say, Mrs. Rossi needs her blood sugar checked at 11 a.m. because I need to give her her insulin before lunch. And then make sure you follow up to ensure that it was done. All right, focus your conversations on what's best for patients. Always align the work to the patients. Let's say the nursing assistant didn't check Mrs. Rossi's blood sugar. You can then say, I'm concerned about Mrs. Rossi. Help me to understand why the blood sugar wasn't checked. By not having it checked at the right time, it puts her at risk for having low blood sugar because the timing of the blood sugar is so critically important. So you're basically saying, why didn't you do it? And what is the impact to the patient? And then the third other little tip for this is don't blow it off. We teach people how to treat us. If we constantly blow off someone's rude behavior, in this case not doing their job, we teach him or her that they can behave that way. You should then say, again, help me to understand why you didn't check this blood sugar. Don't just go ahead and do it yourself, because every time you do that, you're reinforcing that support staff can treat you that way. All right, the key here is to remember to set those expectations for the work that you will both do together. You have a role and they have a role. All right, the third thing is I want you to start building relationships with the support staff. If you're the nurse, focus on building relationships. And you can do this by including them as valuable members of the healthcare team. Here are a few ways that you can do that. First of all, include them in report. I actually worked at the hospital yesterday, and when I got out of report, I went right away to the nursing assistants who were working, and I said, okay, can we do a little, mini report on these patients, especially because they were there all day. I just happened to walk in at 3 o'clock. Discuss the plan of care. Share any concerns you have. I actually had somebody who was 90 years old, and I was concerned that she was going to try to get out of bed on her own, even though we had all the fall, alarms and everything set up. We had that conversation. Ask your support staff if they have any concerns. And then the second thing is offer to pitch in and help. When you see the nursing assistant changing linens or cleaning a patient or assisting a patient to a chair, stop and help, even if it's not your patient. And, just show some gratitude. Always thank the support staff for their help. Be very specific. Thank you so much for helping me with Mrs. Rossi. She has such complex needs and such fragile skin. Your help today to keep her clean made all the difference. Try to be as specific as possible. So while I'm not justifying the support staff treating nurses this way, I am helping you to become aware of maybe the reason behind it. So in the end, it's about you setting expectations, becoming aware that this might happen to you, but ultimately build relationships with the support staff, because sometimes we haven't treated them very well. All right, I hope this helps. I'd love to read your comments about this problem, because I think it's a bigger problem than we're all, willing to admit. We're not really talking about this. There's some other ways that you can actually help yourself and help your coworkers. Share this video with other people who might be struggling too. And don't forget to go to my website, where I have a ton of free resources that can help you stop the cycle of bullying in the workplace. So until our next conversation, take care, be kind, and stay connected.